let's start from day one.
It's always a dream of mine to go to college in the United States. Well, now that I got my visa, I'm happy to tell you guys that have been following me on this journey since last year's podcast. I'm finally going to Auburn.
After I left Passo Fundo, which is my hometown in the south of Brazil, I went to Porto Alegre, and then I catch the first flight out from Porto Alegre to São Paulo. When I was in São Paulo, got into the flight to Helena, which is about 2 hours by bus from Auburn and like 1 hour and 20 minutes if you're going by car, which is great. It's definitely not that far. Helena is a big city. Everything you can imagine, you get there, and it's nice to be close to that big town, but living in Auburn, it's a totally different experience. Auburn is a small college town, but we have 30,000 students at Auburn University, so back to school season, it can get crazy, but we're gonna get into that. So I couldn't sleep, I couldn't do anything, I was super nervous, my anxiety was crazy during that flight, all things like everything just running through my head, like making friends, new life, new everything. I don't know anyone here. My roommates, I had to meet them here, so all of that kind of was getting to my head, and I was really, really nervous. After I got in Atlanta's airport is actually the biggest airport. I think it's the biggest airport in America. I gotta double check that, but it's honestly huge airport. So it was kind of tough because since it's such a big airport and I needed to catch there's something called groom transportation that they take you from Atlanta's airport to Auburn University, which is great. It's like a van shuttle, and it takes you straight from the airport to Auburn University, and that's what I took to get here. And I think it was scheduled for like an hour after my flight, after I arrived, but I didn't know Atlanta's airport was gonna be that big. So I did the immigration stuff. It was pretty easy. If any of you guys are curious about that, especially with this coronavirus stuff, everyone at the airport knows all the COVID and restrictions and all that, everything you need to have on your passport and your visa. So it was pretty easy. You should just ask me how long I was gonna stay here, which university I was gonna go to, and probably how much money I brought in with me. After that, I just had to sprint across the airport, get on a bus. So this is okay, hear me out. Atlanta's airport is huge. You have no idea how huge it is. So I had to get into a bus that took me all the way from the international part of the airport to the domestic part of the airport, which is where the groom leaves to come to Auburn. So I got in the bus, and then I had to get into the shuttle, and I came down here, and first they dropped me off at the hotel, Auburn Hotel, which is across from campus. So I got to see a little bit of the campus, and it's insane. It's huge, and the football stadium, it's so big, so big. It fits 95,000 people, and it's so big you can see from literally every corner of campus. So wherever you are, you can see a part of it because it's just so big.